David, I guess love to know how far your vision extends. What do you see as the next steps for this platform, and are you going to be making it widely available? Those kinds of questions.
Well, we think we've got something, in our software that is extraordinarily powerful in the sense that it can ingest an awful lot of data and allow companies to make better decisions. And what Bryan and ThinkData Works have brought is, when a company can decide which kind of data they want that is going to affect their business most, and Bryan and his ThinkData Works people have been able to pull all that together in an accurate way and everything else. And so as Bryan said, I think we're going to be able to show fairly quickly the kind of cost avoidance, cost savings in the company that we're working with and the companies that we're going to be working with. I think this is something that this is going to not just help Canadian manufacturers, but we hope to, or we are going to be doing this around the world. And I think that the challenges that companies all over are facing, I think we can help address them. I mean, our software has allowed companies in as diverse industries as oil and gas to airplane manufacturer to enhance their production in the most efficient way, and to increase their production. So this is the way of the future, and it's pretty interesting, I think, for Canadians to, as Bryan said, we're in a really tough economic situation at the present moment globally, and it's no time to sit back and not use the tools that are available to make sure that you are among the most competitive companies in the world. And I think what we are showing is that we can do that. We can help companies become that much more competitive. They decide what kind of data they need to ingest. Our software can ingest just millions of bits of it and make sense of it. So we're pretty excited about this. I think it's as Bryan says, a real game changer.
One interesting thing that just sort of cropped in my mind, David, is could this eventually also factor in environmental, social, and governance goals of a company? Let's say, part of the political risk of manufacturing something that has a supply chain into Xinjiang, for instance, is, well, you're dealing with the Uyghur genocide issue, and maybe your shareholders are concerned about that, as indeed your employees might be. So that's, and then of course the environmental goals are obvious. We want to reduce the environmental footprint of the supply chain. So is that something you're looking at as well, David?
Yeah, what we're in a position to do is to, as I said, ingest whatever data, whatever inputs somebody decides that they want to measure, we can do it. We don't decide which are the ones that are most important for a company or are going to affect whether it be their production costs or, as you say, their ESG. But I think increasingly those kinds of issues are going to factor into companies' production decisions, because there will be, it's already being discussed in Europe about having what is, really import duties, right, dependent on the carbon content of the production of the components that go into production. So it's going to become more and more complex as time goes on, and companies are going to want to, and in some cases are going to be forced to look at different kinds of measurements of, what it used to be pretty simple. It was, what's the cheapest source of material that has a reasonable quality, and now it's way more complex than that.
Bryan, we've got about a half a minute before the break. Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think to David's point, ESG is a natural progression of where we're at with our current supply chain product. Supply chain is one of the largest components if we're looking at a carbon footprint of a particular product, especially when we're stitching together hundreds, if not thousands, of products from all over the place.